ΣcifiTrackoi. I will speak now.
Captain, excellent timing. I was just about to call you. Do you remember the voice logs in the crystals we found a couple of weeks ago? The translation is done, Captain. It took some time because the language isn't like anything we have back home, so we had to reverse engineer the language from scratch. We've also finally arranged them in what we hope is chronological order. We haven't listened to them all the way through yet. We wanted you to listen to them with us. Yes, Captain. Let's start from the earliest entry. Log begins.
Very bright outside. The sky is an unnatural blue. Middays feel unnerving now with this kind of light. It burns my eyes sometimes. When I was a hatchling, the skies were a beautiful, healthy green. The sky has turned more and more blue during my life. Exhaust gas, pollution in general. A lot of the plant life has declined because of it. And because there are fewer plants, there are fewer prey animals for us. Of course, many of us Leviathans are concerned. But crystal mines can't just stop. We need new crystals constantly, because there's only so much you can record on one crystal. I am aware that I am a part of the problem, because I use several crystals myself for something as superfluous as a personal diary. But there are no alternatives. Writing is obsolete at this point, not to mention that written records don't tend to survive as long as Leviathans. Paper rots surprisingly fast. Crystals withstand time. I can only hope that we will too.
Log ends. Log begins.
Today is 14th of 3rd month. Ava has fallen ill. She caught cloud fever. She doesn't seem too worried though. Or she's putting on a brave face for me. She is sweet like that. She doesn't want to make me worry. She's trying to keep her life as usual, despite the sickness and not being able to fly. I keep telling her to rest, but she wants to keep her normalcy. I do understand that in some way, but she should rest. This cloud fever epidemic has killed so many. Some who fall ill never return to normal after recovering. I don't want that to good care of her, but I feel like I should be there too, as her partner. We aren't even officially courting.
Log ends. Log begins.
20th of 3rd month. I keep worrying about Aetha's health. Logically, I know that all I can and should do is let Aetha's family take care of her. But I also feel like I'm wasting time whenever I'm not by her side. The worry is heavy on my mind.
Log ends. Log begins.
30th of 3rd month. I can't remember the last time the sky was green. It feels like the pollution has colored the sky blue permanently. I've been sending Aetha old photos of the green sky, hoping it will make her feel better. I can only hope that they at least cheer her up. Aether slept away yesterday. He had no partner, nor hatchlings. He was the last of the 10th clan, one of the oldest family trees of our species, dating all the way back to when we had just developed enough cognition to start recording our history. A long bloodline, ended forever, so easily. Aether was so young, too. It was well before his time. They say it was stress that took him. I don't doubt it at all. He has always been a hard worker who didn't like taking breaks. Almost every time I saw him, he said how he feels like he has to excel at everything he does because of his long and prestigious bloodline. He was my best friend. I can't help but
File corrupted. Log begins.
40th of 3rd month. Aetha is getting worse. Her family won't let me see her. I'm worried. I'm sure it's nothing, but not being able to see her myself makes me anticipate the worst. I'm preparing her a small gift. Hopefully, it will make her feel better. I got her favorite tea and some of the salad rolls that she likes. I'll give it to her parents so they can give it to her. I hope she'll like it.
Log ends. Log begins.
45th of 3rd month. Aetha has gotten the gift. She messaged me and said she liked it. That's good at least. But maybe she wrote seems lethargic, tired. Maybe I imagined it. Hopefully, I imagined it.
Log ends. Log begins.
1st of 4th month. They have decided the date of Aether's funeral. It's a couple of weeks away. A part of me wants Aether to be there with me. I do understand that Aether should rest, but having to bury my best friend without her, it will be hard. I haven't heard from Aether in a while. I hope that means that she's resting and not getting worse. I'm so worried.
File corrupted. Log begins.
3rd of 4th month. Finally, some good news. Aether's parents told me she's been getting better for the past few weeks. I think that I won't invite her to the funeral, even if she's getting better. I don't want to upset her with a funeral. I will go to see her before, though. Great Sky knows that I will need it.
Log ends. Log begins.
20th of 4th month. I just saw Aether. She's lost a lot of weight and she looks very haggard. But she's still as sweet as she's always been. Maybe she's getting better after all. I really did need to see her. I needed that cheering up. Because I'm heading to Aether's funeral.
File corrupted. Log begins.
Aether's funeral was heavy. Perhaps I should have visited Aether afterwards because great sky above. I wasn't prepared for how broken his parents were about it. They blame themselves for his death. They think they caused the stress that killed him. The worst thing is that they're not wholly wrong. However, they were not the only ones that contributed. They're not the sole ones with the blame. Aether died of stress from his work and studies, and mental distress from his family legacy. It was a lot of small things. Not one big thing. It was a lot of small things.
Log ends. Log begins.
I had to take a day off from work because of Aether's funeral. The thought of doing work in this state of mind is unbearable. I didn't expect it to affect me this much. I haven't been able to get out of my sleep that laying down all day isn't healthy, which is true. She's been pod-ridden for many planet turns now, from the illness. We Leviathans aren't meant for laying down for long periods of time. Our insides start to collapse under their own weight if we do. I've not given any thought to that before. That's one more thing to worry about with Aetha. I was supposed to rest.
File corrupted. Log begins.
23rd of 4th month. I kept worrying about Aetha's insides, so I'm taking her out for a short flight today. Only for as long as she feels able, seeing that she's been sick for a long time now. I can't wait to see her again.
Log ends. Log begins.
I absolutely needed that. I've missed her so much. She's so lovely. I made sure to keep the flight short. So short that even Aetha herself protested. She said she could go a little longer. I don't want to overwork her right after the illness. We snuggled in her pod and talked for hours afterwards. I felt like a young hatchling again doing that. It was pleasant. I am content.
Log ends. Log begins.
24th of 4th month. I'm going back to work. Seeing Aetha was exactly what I needed. I'll have the strength to work for at least the next 2 moon turns now. I'm excited to see my coworkers too.
File corrupted. Log begins.
1st of 5th month. Mother is sick. It's also cloud fever, the same that Aetha has. I don't think she's going to make it. She's old and has been frail for a long time. The illness is so tough that it's very unlikely that she'll make it.
Log ends. Log begins.
10th of 5th month. I've started visiting Mother every day after work. I don't know if it's just my anxiety, but she seems weaker every day. She doesn't have long.
Log ends. Log begins.
55th of 5th month. Mother. She slept away 2 hours ago. I called the doctor, but
File corrupted. Log begins.
10th of 6th month. I've been busy preparing Mother's funeral. I haven't had the time to talk to Atha because of it. She keeps messaging me, but I don't want to burden her with this. She's still recovering from her cloud fever. She doesn't need my problems on top of...
File corrupted. Log begins.
11th of 6th month. Arranging a funeral by yourself is heavy. When Father died, Mother and I were doing it together. Now, I'm alone. Atha wants to help, but she's still recovering. I cannot burden her with this.
Log ends. Log begins.
15th of 6th month. The preparations are done. Mother's funeral is tomorrow. I feel so alone. I miss Atha.
Log ends. Log begins.
16th of 6th month. Sky bless Atha. She insisted on coming to the funeral, even though I told her to rest. She was so supportive during... I don't know where I would be without her. It still doesn't feel real that Mother is dead. Of course, I knew she wasn't going to be around for the rest of my life, but I thought that I would have more time with her. These must be the end times.
Log ends. Log begins.
17th of 6th month. I have to go back to work. If I stay home, I just keep thinking about everything terrible happening around me. I need something to distract me.
File corrupted.
An accident in a crystal mine. 5 Leviathans died. I didn't know any of them, but Atha did. She is devastated. It breaks my heart seeing her like this.
Log ends. Log begins.
30th of 6th month. Atha is getting worse again. I don't know if it's her illness coming back, or if it's because of losing a friend in the accident. Her parents have forbidden me from seeing her again.
Log ends. Log begins.
40th of 6th month. Atha's parents tell me that she's getting worse. She might not have long. I have to see her.
Log ends. Log begins.
42nd of 6th month. Either Etha's parents are taking pity on me, or her condition is getting even worse, because they've started letting me see her again. So now I'm visiting her every day, while I still can. No positive thoughts. She might get better again. I hope and pray that she does. I'll continue to visit her either way.
Log ends. Log begins.
51st of 6th month. Etha is getting weaker and weaker. I fear that she's not going to get better.
File corrupted. Log begins.
Etha's parents called. She's gone. Cloud fever. It took her.
File corrupted. Log begins.
1st of 7th month. I haven't recorded my thoughts in a while. I haven't had much to say. Without Etha, all of it feels pointless. I've been helping her parents arrange the funeral. I feel like I'm in a haze. Like my feelings are locked behind a door. And I feel them only distantly.
Log ends. Log begins.
11th of 7th month. Etha's funeral is tomorrow. She battled long. She has deserved this rest. Etha. She didn't deserve to go out like she did. I mean that she does deserve her suffering to end. But she did not deserve to be suffering in the first place. But whose fault was her suffering? The curse of cloud fever that took her health. Her own, for being weak and carrying the cloud fever for so long that her health deteriorated. Is there a guilty party at all? She didn't deserve this.
Log ends. Log begins.
12th of 7th month. I'm home from Etha's funeral. I'm tired. I think I'll go to sleep for the rest of the day.
Log ends. Log begins.
30th of 7th month. I think I've been sleeping more lately. Every moment that I'm not working, I'm sleeping. It's the only time when I can forget. that Aetha isn't with us anymore.
Log ends. Log begins.
42nd of 7th month. I just woke up to a message. Aether's father has slipped away.
File corrupted. Log begins.
52nd of 7th month. Just came back from Aether's father's funeral. That was the 4th funeral I've been to on this planetary. It's only summer, and we've had 4 funerals already. I hope that this pattern will stop. Although it has existed for centuries, the pattern, in different forms and causes, but it has existed. It has been clear for centuries that we have been dying faster than we can reproduce, whether we wanted to accept it or not. The elders, the wiser ones, have been warning us for just as long.
File corrupted. Log begins.
2nd of 8th month. The elders have gently implied that they want me to reproduce. So soon after Aetha's funeral. They mean well. But they don't understand that I'm still... I was so baffled that I didn't say anything. I do understand that we need more hatchlings to stop us from dying out, but without Aetha, I don't think there is anyone for me. So soon after the funeral, too. Although, surely they don't know. Aetha and I weren't public yet. Very few knew about us. Very few also understand why her death affects me so much. Not to mention that my genes are not the best. My family has had cataracts and problems with our wings for generations. Passing these on to a hatchling. Not that there are many healthy genes to pass on from other leviathans either.
Log ends. Log begins.
16th of 8th month. I may be getting ill. I can't afford to rest, though. I want to be too busy to think. Too busy to mourn. If I stop for even a minute, everything comes flooding back into my mind.
File corrupted. Log begins.
18th of 8th month. I'm definitely getting ill. But it's 21st of 8th month. I've just had a long talk with an elder. She told me to find a mate. I tried telling her that without Ava, I can't. But I couldn't get a word out.
File corrupted. Log begins.
26th of 8th month. My leader at work noticed that I've been working while sick. He sent me to the physician. The physician told me that I have cloud fever. The same that Ava had.
File corrupted. Log begins.
29th of 8th month. I'm on sick leave. I have nothing to do, but I'm going insane. I keep ruminating on Eva, Mother, and Either, about all the things I never got to tell them. All the things I never got to do with them.
File corrupted. Log begins.
34th of 8th month. I've been committed to the sick bay. My friends who've been visiting me claim that I'm not taking care of myself. I hate it here.
File corrupted. Log begins.
38th of 8th month. I overheard the physician talk about me. He doubts that I'll make it. After losing Ava, Mother, and Either, and overworking myself so much. I am not surprised. I think it's my time. I want to go.
File corrupted. Log begins.
Now that I'm stuck in sick bay, I've had some time to think. Downward spirals, deterioration, rotting, staying still. Entropy takes no effort at all. It's all so easy. While ascension, moving forward, and improvement is always difficult.
agree, Captain. It's a very tragic tale. The sort of thing we encounter all too often when we study dead alien civilizations. It sort of makes you wonder just how we got so far ourselves. Humans, I mean. How have we managed to stay alive as a species, make our way to the stars,